The one Stoic lesson that can change everything. There's a simple truth that ancient philosophers understood thousands of years ago, yet most of us spend our entire lives fighting against it. This single lesson from Stoic philosophy has the power to transform how you experience every moment of your life. It's not complicated, but it requires practice and patience to truly master. The core teaching. The Stoics taught that we should focus only on what we can control and accept what we cannot. This might sound obvious, even simplistic, but look closely at your daily life. How much energy do you waste worrying about things completely outside your control? The weather, other people's opinions, past mistakes, uncertain futures, traffic jams, or even the inevitable march of time itself. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his personal journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He ruled an empire, commanded armies, and faced countless challenges. Yet he understood that his real power lay not in controlling the world around him, but in controlling his response to it. What we actually control, let's be clear about what falls within our control. We control our thoughts, our actions, our responses, and our values. We control our effort, our attitude, and how we interpret events. We control whether we choose kindness or cruelty, courage or cowardice, honesty or deception. That's essentially it. Everything else, absolutely everything else, is ultimately outside our direct control. We don't control whether it rains on our wedding day. We don't control whether we get stuck in traffic. We don't control whether our boss is in a bad mood. We don't control whether the economy crashes or whether we get sick. We don't even fully control whether our hard work leads to success. This realization might seem depressing at first. If we control so little, what's the point? But this is where the Stoic wisdom becomes liberating rather than limiting. The freedom in acceptance. When you truly accept what you cannot control, you free yourself from an enormous burden. You stop fighting battles you can never win. You stop exhausting yourself trying to change things that will never bend to your will. Imagine a man standing in a river, trying desperately to stop the water from flowing. He pushes and struggles, growing more frustrated and tired with each passing moment. The water keeps flowing, indifferent to his efforts. Now imagine that same man learning to swim with the current, to work with the river rather than against it. Suddenly, he's not fighting anymore. He's moving forward. This is what happens when we stop trying to control the uncontrollable. We find peace not because our circumstances have changed, but because we've changed our relationship with our circumstances. Applying this lesson daily. Consider a practical example. You're stuck in terrible traffic, running late for an important meeting. You have two choices in how you respond. Choice 1. You can grip the steering wheel, curse the other drivers, feel your blood pressure rising, and arrive at your meeting stressed, angry, and scattered. You've suffered the entire drive, and you're still late. Choice 2. You can acknowledge that the traffic is beyond your control. You're going to be late regardless of how you feel about it. So instead, you call ahead to explain. Then use the time to listen to music. Practice breathing exercises or mentally prepare for your meeting. You arrive late but calm and focused. In both scenarios, you're late. The external circumstance is identical, but your internal experience is completely different. And often, your composed arrival in the second scenario actually leads to better outcomes than if you de-arrived on time but frazzled. The workplace application. This lesson transforms how we handle professional challenges. You give a presentation that you've worked on for weeks. Afterward, one colleague criticizes it harshly. You cannot control their opinion or their words. What you can control is your response. You can choose to let their criticism ruin your day, to doubt all your abilities, to become defensive and angry. Or you can acknowledge their feedback, extract anything useful from it, and let go of the rest. You can remember that their reaction says as much about them as it does about your presentation. The Stoics would ask, did you prepare well? Did you do your honest best? If yes, then you've fulfilled your duty. The rest a reception. The praise or criticism. The outcomes those are not truly yours to own. Relationships and letting go this principle is perhaps most challenging in our personal relationships. We cannot control how others feel about us, whether they love us back, whether they stay or leave, whether they understand us or misjudge us. This doesn't mean we should stop trying to be good partners, friends, or family members. We absolutely control our own behavior, our kindness, our listening, our efforts to communicate and connect. What we cannot control is whether those efforts are received the way we hope. A Stoic approach to relationships means loving fully while holding loosely. It means giving your best without demanding specific returns. It means accepting that people change, relationships evolve, and sometimes, despite our best efforts, things don't work out. And that's okay. The practice. Understanding this lesson intellectually is one thing. Living it is another. It requires daily practice, constant reminding, and gentle self-correction when you find yourself slipping back into old patterns. Start by noticing when you're expending energy on things you cannot control. When you feel anxiety, frustration, or anger, pause and ask yourself, is this within my control? If not, acknowledge it. Then consciously redirect your attention to what you can influence, usually your own thoughts, actions, and responses. Keep a journal. Write down situations that upset you, then identify what was within your control and what wasn't. This practice trains your mind to make this distinction automatically. The transformation over time, this single lesson creates a profound shift. You become less reactive and more responsive. You suffer less from circumstances and more from your own choices, and since those are within your control, you can change them. You develop a deep, unshakable peace that doesn't depend on external conditions. Not because you've created a perfect life, but because you've stopped requiring life to be perfect in order to be okay. You find yourself with more energy because you're no longer wasting it on futile battles. You become more effective because you're focusing your efforts where they actually make a difference. You grow more compassionate both toward yourself and others because you understand the limitations we all face. This is the promise of Stoicism. Not a life without challenges, but a life where challenges no longer control you. It starts with this one lesson, practiced one moment at a time, one choice at a time, one day at a time. The question is, are you ready to let go of what you cannot control and embrace what you can?